Yes, it's us in the flesh. We're back.
We're live.
We are indeed live. Welcome back to the Sports Desk Live. And me and my mans are here to talk about some good old wrestling. All right, so it's been a while, but I'm your guy one more time, Dedrick L, Hicks Jr. And joined by my brother, my guy. Introduce yourself one more time, my man.
The legendary Team Gates, TLTG Reviews. Wrestling is real and people are fake.
Yes, there we go. And wrestling is also really cool. All right. So it's what are people calling it though? Wrestling Christmas season. It's kind of like the holidays when you're talking about wrestling. We're at the top of the year, and of course, if you are a wrestling fan, it is Royal Rumble time, and we are indeed here to preview the 2025 Royal Rumble that will take place live on the recording tomorrow night. But if you're watching this in the future, it's probably already happened. We're here to preview it. Special start time, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard, a little bit early. I like that. I like a little bit earlier start, kind of like WrestleMania, how they do that. And I'm looking forward to the event. All right, so let's go ahead and get this underway. Thank y'all who are live rocking with us tonight. Appreciate everybody tapping in on the replay. Hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. It continues to elevate the Sports Desk Live as you know it for now. All right, so let's go ahead and tap in. Ross, man, how are you feeling, my man? It is Royal Rumble season.
My favorite PLE of the year, every year, forever and ever and ever.
Yeah,
I love the surprise anticipation, whether we get surprises or not, which we are going to get surprises.
sure.
Whether we get them or not, I love that 10-second countdown, the buzzer,
Yeah.
somebody's music hitting. The excitement is the Royal Rumble match. There's many versions of a Battle Royal out there, but none of them are the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I agree.
I like it more than Mania is the pageant, but this is what gets us there with storylines. This is what sets us on the path. I love it. It is the official start to the road to WrestleMania. I was there last year. I saw some great surprises. We got Jade's debut, the return to Naomi. We had a lot of good stuff.
Yes, you were.
This year, I think, can be that much bigger.
Yeah, I'm excited.
There's a reason there's only been like 9 women announced.
Oh yeah, because this is going to be so much fun, and I'm with Ross. I mean, as just a wrestling fan, period. Growing up watching wrestling my whole life, the Royal Rumble has been a staple. It's so many memories. It's just so many different moments. It's so many moments that have happened that are great that we've probably forgot about some of them. Like, that's how great this event is. So many different stare downs and special entrances and the winners and the losers and the Iron Man. You know, how many people get thrown over by one superstar? Like, it's just so many different things. The breakout star, like, it's so many different things to look for to the Royal Rumble. And in the men's and the women's match, we have the potential for a lot of things to happen. So, again, thank y'all for tapping in with us tonight, man. We're going to go ahead and get to it. There is 4 matches on this card, but we know that the Royal Rumble matches are 20 or 30 matches in one. Really,
the Rumble is going to close the show for sure.
Yeah, I believe so as well.
And
so
the women's is going to open the show because that's what happened last year.
Well, I agree with you, but there's been some word that they're going to do the Rumbles back to back.
I think that's a mistake.
I think it is too. Well, it depends on how you look at it. If you're talking strategic for the show, I feel you. But with all of the things that can go down, who cares?
Because here's the thing. If you run them back to back, that's not good for the audience that wants to take restroom breaks and go get snacks. Because when it comes to the Rumble matches, you don't want to get up. Because, boy, when that buzzer hits and the music you were waiting on hits, you're going to be mad if you at the restroom. Or so, you know what I mean? I think it's better for the audience. They have to know this to split them apart and give people some time in intermission. Look, for the mid-card matches, sorry for you. There's a reason you're in the middle. You got to cater to the audience, you know, not to the superstar. You cater to the audience.
Yeah, I just think that's the excitement from everybody, just getting ready for it. And there is something, though. They have alternated the men's and women's Royal Rumble. So last year, do you remember?
Yeah, but man, with the men's this year, with it being probably the most star-studded one they've done in a long time, if ever.
I don't know. I mean, they have done it.
I'm not closing the show with it, man.
They've been doing it. They have been alternating the men and the women, so I guess we'll see what happens. But I'm with Ross. I do think that the ladies kick off the 2025 Royal Rumble in Indianapolis at Lucas Oil Field. Star-studded potential written all over this. We're going to break down the match.
Loaded. This
Yeah.
is going to be a loaded Rumble match right here.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and get to it, man. Let's go ahead and get to it and break down the women's. I'm getting comfortable here, all right, because there's just a lot to discuss. Ross, as always, let's kick it off with you, my man. 3 things from you. What are you excited? Obviously we're excited for the whole card, but what are you most excited about with the Women's Royal Rumble? 1, 2, obviously, who's going to be your winner? 3, and what kind of special entrance or I guess 4 questions, special surprise, special interest that you're expecting or wanting to see, and of course your final 4 before we get that winner.
So, thing I'm most excited about is to see Jordynne Grace establish herself in this one. She was a big surprise. It started off a big year for her last year. She's officially WWE now. I'm a big Jordynne Grace fan. I have been for years. I'm excited to see her establish herself because she was, anybody that follows my Instagrams and while I was at the Rumble, I was posting stuff. And when her music hit, I screamed, "Holy shit, it's Jordynne Grace," freaked out because I couldn't believe the crossover, because lately they've been doing TNA Knockouts Champ. They did Mickey the year before, which I think she's going to be in the first 4 or 5 again and go the distance to really end up in the final 4, to have a good showing, to really establish her as a main talent, to go to the main roster. I don't think she's going to NXT. She's already had a stint in NXT throughout this last year.
Yeah, main roster for sure.
Yeah, she's going main roster. I think it's a big time. This is when you establish Jordynne Grace. Last year, you put a lot of investment into seeing if she could be it for you.
Yeah.
Decided she is. Now she needs to have a strong showing here. And I think that's the way to do it. She needs the Bayley performance without the win. What Bayley did last year, what Rhea did the year before. She needs that performance, but not win. She's not going to win. They're not giving her that yet. Maybe in 2 or 3 years. So that's one big thing I expect. I'm not just hoping to see. I expect to see that from WWE with the stock they've put into her. I think we get a Jade return while Bianca and Naomi are in the ring. I think this is the Jade return. I think we see the issues. And I have a feeling Jade's going to throw out Naomi, and then immediately get thrown out by Bianca in turn.
So I'm gonna rock with you right there, because I might as well, because that's my thing that I'm looking forward to. How is this going to unfold? Because now we're a full year.
Yes,
it's been a full year. I mean, it's been a wonderful story. Just seeing the Jade and Bianca Belair, the super tag team,
the super women of wrestling. Let's call it what it is.
Right. Former tag. I don't know. Are they former tag champions now that Naomi stepped in? I don't know how you really want to go about that.
Technically, she's a former champion now.
She's a former champion, but
the Powerbuff Girls.
The Powerbuff Girls. Here's my thing. I think you're right about that. I think Jade returns, and I think immediately you notice the different vibe. I think you notice the different energy, different look, everything about her is going to be different coming into the Rumble. And I'm
champion Jade Cargill's showing up. That bitch show. Anybody that watched her in AEW, that serious attitude, I'm the shit. That's who's showing up at the Rumble.
And I think it's going to be.
She understands she has no friends here, because that story is going to finally unfold, and it was either Naomi, Bianca, or a plan or something. We'll see how that goes, but it's something along those lines. So she's coming in like, screw you bitches.
Yeah, she's coming in hot for sure. Yeah. And I think that the story is so, up in the air, because now we're going to start to get those seeds to what happened to Jade Cargill.
Yeah.
And Jade's going to have a motive. And I think the motive is going to focus on eliminating Naomi. I think Naomi's just going to be the fall girl here, because she needs to get out of the way. But here's my thing. I don't think Bianca tries to eliminate Jade. I think Jade tries to eliminate Bianca and is unsuccessful. I think Bianca pulls the brakes and goes, "Hey, what are you doing? Like, what's going on?" And then immediately you get that quick stare down. You get that quick almost attempt for them to kind of go at it. I don't think they touch each other though outside of that, because I think the Rumble will just continue to go on. And as the match continues on, I think Jade will play a part in assisting of eliminating Bianca. I think Bianca will be in some trouble. Here comes Jade to clean it up. And then Jade remains in the Rumble while Bianca and Naomi are going about their business. So there you go with the, okay, now we know the conversations have to take place. Now we know the interviews are coming. Now we know Bianca's going to know, hey, what's your dick? Here we go. Here we go. So that's what I'm looking forward to see. How does WWE let it unfold? How do it play out? How does it play out in front of us all? Because in my opinion, I know Charlotte's coming back. We're hoping to see Becky, all these special interests. But I think the biggest storyline that has been seeded in the ground, has been being watered, is what's going to happen with Jade and Bianca. And
that's the biggest story that needs to really be told. It's time to tell that story.
Right.
We've waited since they were holding whoever it was. That's how relevant they were, over their heads, staring at each other, and just dropped them and smirked. That was the beginning of this story, and it made sense to put them together for Jade to learn the ropes and everything and work on the road with Super Bianca for a while and be on TV with Bianca, because Bianca's it. There's a reason we call her Super Bianca. Yeah. There's nothing she can't do in this business.
There's nothing she can't do.
Nothing. Right. She is it, right? She's got a shot at being on the Mount Rushmore for women one day. She's got a strong case already. So
for sure,
she's the one that could replace a 4-horsewoman. So
for sure.
With that said, that's the most exciting story to start to finally unfold. Of course, the thing I'd like to see that you and I were just talking about off camera that I don't think we're going to get, because they've been teasing us just to tease us, is AJ Lee.
Yeah.
The place would come unglued.
Yeah,
I'll tell you this. If we get surprised tomorrow and the women's Rumble's closing the show, AJ Lee's walking out at 30. That's when I'm okay. She's coming out, because that's the one thing that can't be followed. AJ Lee coming out. That won't be able to be followed with anything in the men's Rumble. Nothing, because there's no surprise that would be bigger than AJ Lee. So that's the only way I'm convinced it's going to happen, is if the women close the show. The women open the show or in the middle, we ain't getting there. You know, I think that's at least a fair assessment.
Okay.
If they open the show with that, that's going to be the biggest crowd reaction of the night. You can't open the show with that.
It'll be huge for sure.
Oh,
it'll probably be reminiscent of when Edge returned.
I think it'd be even bigger than that, because it's just like Punk, the unlikely return. And now that they got Punk, everybody wants it so bad. That's all wrestling media is talking about this week. That's all the teases have been on TV. Punk has been teasing it, and then he turns around with Pat McAfee today. You're lying. That's not what I said. I didn't say that. Hint, hint, wink, wink. That's not what I said. So they're edging us. And normally when they edge us this hard, it's to disappoint us. It's a blue ball syndrome.
Yes, it is. You get so hyped
and nothing's going down. This hard. So.
For sure.
Final four.
Final four. Who's your final four?
Final four, I think Becky and Charlotte for sure. I think we're going to have Becky and Charlotte. I think we're going to get, like I was saying earlier, Jordynne Grace, but she's not going to be in the final three. I think she's going to be the one that gets asked out of the final four. Like, that's the end of the Rumble for her. And then it's whoever doesn't get thrown out between Bianca and Jade.
Mm-hmm.
That's my four that I see. Because there's always the tension that always works with Becky and Charlotte. Even though wrestling media is very upset with top girl Charlotte Flair predicted to win, I want to see Charlotte win. I want Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton at Mania, because Charlotte Flair is Miss WrestleMania. I don't care what anybody has to say. That's Miss WrestleMania.
For sure.
Okay? That's what I want. I want Charlotte Flair to win. So that's my prediction.
So my final four got a different twist with my final four here. I am going to go Charlotte. I am going to go Becky. I'm going to go Io.
Right?
I'm going to go Io Sky. I think Io Sky has had a very underrated and almost underappreciated last year.
She's an underdog.
She's arguably the best pound for pound in-ring performer in WWE. Arguably, pound for pound, she could be the best. And I think what she gives us in Elimination Chambers and WrestleManias and her son, like, she has been tremendous. And usually in the past, the WWE will, when least expected, push someone to the front of the line in a Royal Rumble. A la Shinsuke Nakamura, Bianca, Rey
Nobody
Mysterio back.
Bianca to win.
Right, Rey Mysterio back in the day when he won it. There's like an unexpected push that you don't see coming. But when it happens, as fans, we go, oh, hell yeah, they deserve it. They deserve it. So I think Io Sky is going to be in the final four. So Charlotte, Becky, Io Sky, and I'm going to go Jade Cargill. I think Jade needs to have a strong showing where Bianca does not. I don't think
she came in midway last time. I think she comes in a little bit earlier this time. I think like 10 to 12 range.
Yeah, and has a strong area.
Yeah,
and even she could be this year's Iron Woman. Just
she's been at the Performance Center looking crazy good shape. You know, I'm sure you've been seeing it, sweating her ass off, getting her cardio real good. So that tells me that that's a long Rumble for her,
and she needs it. And I think I think WWE is going to put her in a position to say, "Hey, look, the Jade you once saw was merely an appetizer. This is who we expected her to be. This is what we want her to be in WWE." And that's what I think we're going to get.
Yeah, because she was raw potential. AEW.
Oh God! Immediately, raw potential.
They're like, "Oh, here's a belt. Let's go squash people."
That's what AEW. Oh yeah,
here's a belt. Go squash people.
Yeah,
go call everybody bitch all the time on the mic.
Yeah. But Triple H and the talent, they've really done a great job with Jade because it was a great idea to match her with Bianca. So
yeah, Charlotte, let the audience get to know her that wasn't familiar with her.
Correct. Charlotte, Becky, Io Sky, and Jade Cargill for me in the final four. So Ross, who is your winner?
Charlotte
Flair.
Charlotte. I want Charlotte to win. I want Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton. Me and you've been talking about it for a year.
We have.
For a year, you and I have been saying that needs to be Mania.
We have.
New Charlotte versus Charlotte.
So I have gone away from my Charlotte pick because now I'm thinking a little bit outside of the box as if I'm Triple H. So what do you do here?
You go on Io?
Do you? Yes, I am. Do you continue
she's the other favorite?
Huh?
She's the other favorite I've been hearing is Io.
Do you continue to build around a guaranteed Charlotte storyline, or do you create some entertaining obstacles leading to the Elimination Chamber? Do you allow Tiffany Stratton to say whatever she wants, view Charlotte how she wants, and just create that vibe? That storyline kind of gets really off and running by Charlotte couldn't win the Rumble, so she doesn't get me. So Tiffany really taking on that angle. I think you let that simmer and you let that develop and let Charlotte get into that chamber and then submit her shot at the title. I'm thinking about one person only when it comes to the Rumble. Who in the hell do you match her with Rhea Bloody Ripley at WrestleMania?
Bianca wins the chamber.
No, I don't think so. What has Rhea not necessarily dealt with when defending her title? Another raw, pure athlete of a different breed, and that is Io Sky.
I was thinking we could have the flippy fun time with her and Tiffany if Io wins.
I wouldn't mind seeing
that would be a battle of athleticism.
I wouldn't mind seeing that, but I'm looking for something new for Rhea, like brand new.
Well, that's going to be interesting too, because if it would be Io and Rhea, there's the very obvious love they have for one another. So now it's got to be the falling out. That's both on camera and behind the scenes, all over social media, how tight they are. So that'd be interesting to see. I'm good with it either way.
I think a different twist for Rhea coming off the drawn out Liv Morgan storyline. My God, was it drawn out? They
never made that. Did not do Liv Morgan any favors.
It just made her a little bit more
an obnoxious heel. It's not good.
Yeah, it made her a little bit more annoying, and I guess that worked because WWE wanted her to be obnoxious and annoying, and they have been successful. But I'm just thinking outside the box here. I'm going to go Io Sky as my winner. I think she goes after Rhea Ripley. I think you get, obviously, Bianca and Jade at Mania, and then you get Charlotte and Tiffy at Mania as well. I think we end up getting everything we want, but I want something different for Rhea. You know, she's been in these bashing matches with Nia
Her and
Jax
Nia too, because we got her and Nia again.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to see that. We've done that already. Obviously, I don't want to see her and Liv. I don't want to see her and Raquel. I don't want to see her around the same type of women that she's been around the last 2 years. Something fresh.
I need her and Jade. I need her and Bianca, and I don't need it to be once a year at Mania. They need to have a SummerSlam program for her that's strong like Mania too. I'm all for a long run for Rhea this time. I'm all for it. But it can't be these BS feuds rinsing.
It won't be. It won't be.
That's what 2024 was.
But because they didn't, honestly, the cover was kind of really what it was, wasn't it, Ross? The cover was what it was. But now, who do you have in the mix now? You got a Jade Cargill who's going to go on her singles run.
Because I don't want to see her again. They could do the rubber match later. You can always go back to that. Them two are phenomenal together. Their two matches at Mania are one of the reasons I call Charlotte Miss WrestleMania. You know, they have that kind of chemistry. Let's stretch that out. I don't want Brock and Roman to death again.
No, you won't get it.
Let's stretch that away. Keep them away for at least 2 years, please.
Well, yeah, separate them because eventually they're going to go to separate shows.
Yeah.
And you just handle it that way. But just for me, honestly, throughout just the Rumble winner, I was thinking about Rhea Ripley. I was just thinking about Rhea. It's an easy pick to pick Charlotte. And hell, if Charlotte wins, I will just like everybody else will. But
except for wrestling media, they're gonna hate it.
Well, you know they hate that. But
for I guess technically we're part of wrestling media. We do a live stream about.
No, we are a part of the media. We just got it. We're working on our credentials.
Yes,
we're working on them. So yeah, Io Sky's my winner. For
I like it,
the Royal Rumble. And we'll see. I like your angles as well.
Picks for me. That's the two picks. That's why I was like, yeah, that's the other favorite. Yep.
Oh, I didn't give my surprise entrance.
I gave a few.
You did.
Which I don't think Jordan's really that much of a surprise. I think we get Masha Slamovich because we get the Knockouts champ every year.
Yeah, she's
three years running now. We've gotten the Knockouts champion, so I think we're gonna get Masha Slamovich. I think we get Roxanne Perez. Maybe even Cora Jade because Cora's getting a good push between the two promotions right now. I heard Jada Parker's in town because she's getting pretty big.
Oh, so that'd be dope. That'd be dope.
Everybody will be very excited because everybody's in love with her and she's really good in the ring. And then what's another one? Lash Legend. So a lot of NXT representation is expected, and I'd like to see that because NXT. They really do have one of the strongest.
They have a nice roster of the ladies of the women.
And I can't imagine Julia and Stephanie Vaquer not being in here either because they're just huge signings that have been really doing good. I think it would be nice to have a strong showing for Stephanie Vaquer before she goes take that North American title because Julia's already got the NXT Women's Champion and Stephanie Vaquer has got her title shot for the mid-card belt coming up. So I can't imagine them two not being there too. At least Julia,
for me,
NXT Women's Champion.
For me, there's one woman I want to see more than them all who we haven't seen, and we've been waiting and waiting and waiting. And Alexa Bliss, I want to see her.
I didn't even want to say it because I was so heartbroken last year because every single time the buzzer went off, I'm like, Alexa. Every single time. I tagged her when she's like, I'll be in shape maybe next year. And I put, look at this swerve. Nice try, Alexa, and tagged her and everything and shared her post on stories because I was convinced. You're just trying to swerve us. We're going to see you. I can't wait to see you come out. But I don't want to see spooky girl Alexa. I want Alexa back. So I got so disappointed last year that I didn't even want to say it this year because it's I don't want to be disappointed again.
I think with the whole White Six flaming out like it did, I'm just saying that's what I'm saying. I think the White Six flaming out really is going to call off the whole Sister Abigail appearance from her.
I hope so.
And I think she deserves to be away from that storyline completely and allow her to come back as Alexa. I mean, let's call it what it is, y'all. At one point in time, when you were talking pound for pound, the very best in the business in the women's division, you're talking Charlotte, you're talking Bex, you're talking Alexa Bliss. That's who you're talking about.
He held the title multiple times for a reason.
Alexa Bliss is super talented. and her gimmick and everything that she had going on was excellent. And I think it'd just be really cool to see her back. I follow her on Instagram, and of course, she's playing into it.
Mom to death.
So we'll see.
Mom
but I want to see Alexa. I want to see Alexa. I want to see Alexa.
That's what I'm saying, man. I was so heartbroken last year. She was my surprise. Like, I would really love to see AJ Lee this year. I really wanted Alexa last year, and that's why I wasn't even going to say her name, because of course I want to see Alexa come back.
Right. Jason is asking us. Of course they can.
That match is on the card. I don't see why they wouldn't, because whoever Gunther faces isn't going to be as big of a match as that would be. I think.
Yeah, of course they can. The hype on that's going to be wild. Dilly says he hope we finally end the bloodline. It's coming. It's coming soon.
I don't really think so. I think we're about to get a new twist. They're cooling it down to heat it back up. But I'm kind of over it now. Yeah, let Jacob Fatu go do his thing,
There's only one story or two storylines left there. We can get into that later, but it's what's going on with Solo. That's one.
And The Rock.
And then two, what kind of role does Roman take to getting the title back? That's it. Those are the only two storylines, because I think the whole Rock thing is
dead in the water for now.
It sounds like it's legit dead. Yeah, it sounds like it's legit dead. So, we'll see. Shout out to the Bishop, man. Bishop, appreciate you, man, for stopping through, showing us some love. We got 16 people watching. Thank y'all very, very much. Hit that thumbs up if you have not. If you're watching on the playback and you're a big time wrestling fan, we appreciate that for sure. All right.
Subscribe.
Please and thank you. All right. So let's get to the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match. You have the Motor City Brigade coming in, taking on DIY for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Those belts look really cool right there. Those belts look really, really cool. So this is in my mind, Ross, I think we're going to get like a throwback NXT style tag team.
It's black and gold NXT or nothing. NXT takeover or nothing. That's the style match it needs to be. Right. I believe it's 2 out of 3 falls, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got to go hard, or it's going to be the worst match of the night.
And I don't think it will. I think it could be a real.
It's gotta go hard, and it's the right guys to do it, especially with the machine guns.
Yeah, they're going to go hard. I feel you on that. I don't think there's no possible way that this could be a dud of a match.
No, this has to be a 4-star or better match. Otherwise,
and I think it will be. I think it will be. So who's your winner?
There's such expectation because of the players involved. I think the Motor City Machine Guns are taking the titles back. I think they're about to get their second title already.
Okay. I don't. I think DIY returns because why? You finally have some juice. Real juice in the tag team division on SmackDown. And there are other tag teams on SmackDown that could really build up. And if you know what I'm thinking, then you probably know where I'm going. What's coming around the corner? WrestleMania. And what's one of the prominent, amazing things that we get to see at WrestleMania after WrestleMania after WrestleMania? You get that good old 4-way tag team championship ladder match extravaganza. And I think these two teams, I think Pretty Deadly is going to be a part of it. I think the Street Profits have a real legit
chance. Finally going to get the breakup of A-Town Down Under. Did you see NXT last week?
Yes, I did.
So you saw the Waller segment?
Yeah.
The crowd was chanting, "Turn on Waller."
Yeah.
And they're like, so he's like, oh, he's going to do it. He turned his back. Don't you turn on me. So
right.
Into it. But it's hilarious that the crowd's like, for the love of God.
Enough already.
Turn on Waller. We want you to be a babyface again, Austin.
Yeah, hurry up.
It was so funny because everybody's been waiting for it. So maybe that's when the crack finally happens.
Right, it's on the way, and I think DIY could continue to ride their wave, and I think ultimately at a WrestleMania, Motor City Brigade they get their moment at Mania. Sorry, I don't know why I call them the Brigade. I don't know why I call them the Brigade. I don't know why, but I think they get their moment at WrestleMania, but I do think DIY retains here.
I think it's going to be a really good match. Street Profits, man. They keep getting just shifted around and just kind of floating. Nothing really prominent. They won't break them up, but they won't do anything with them either.
They should have split them up 2 years ago.
When it made sense.
To let Montez
go the pride that they did for a little while, it was stupid.
Yeah, it was so ridiculous.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Business is way better.
Oh God.
Oh God.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's on
God.
my playlist too. We hurt people.
The harmony.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get to a doozy here. Okay.
Mm.
The undisputed WWE Championship match. You have the real champion, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, defending the WWE champion against the, in his mind, wing angled champion,
The 1993 WWF champion.
Kevin Owens, in a ladder match. Both titles above the sky, and we are going to get a doozy. Now, I do want to say this before Ross gives his thoughts. I hate that the Wing Eagle title is just being flaunted around the way that it is. I hate it. Maybe there's some bigger message or something that's coming in the future, but I'm not a fan of both titles being in the air. Like, why are we doing this? It doesn't need it. It doesn't. This rivalry doesn't need it. This is Cody's real first, my God, rival for a championship in his championship reign. Make it make sense for me, please, WWE. But that's just my small little rant.
I'm with you.
Wing
I
title.
hate the degradation of the Winged Eagle title.
It's tough to look at, man.
Awful. Like I love what
Kevin.
I love what Kevin's doing, but I don't like the use of the belt.
Look at it. It just bothers me. But anyway, this is you. I'm sure you might agree. This is Cody's. This is his spotlight in his championship run with Kevin.
Well, it's the way he's behaving. It's the promo with Punk. It's some good character development because we're
really
getting
good here.
Bits of indie Cody.
It's really good here. It's really and let's call it what it is as well. You probably agree here too. This is the best Kevin Owens we've seen.
Oh God, I love Kevin Owens. He's so good.
Yeah,
he's going to be just like we felt about Drew last year. It's Kevin this year. It's going to be Kevin this year.
Kevin is on fire.
Yeah, it's going to be Kevin.
He's on fire. He's on fire. But let's get to it.
Said I'm over KO too. Also, he feels very different from us.
Oh, I love Kevin.
I love it. I
love it. I love Kevin.
Because Kevin's such a good heel. His personality makes for a good matter-of-fact, quick-witted, sharp-tongued heel. He's really good at it.
Really good.
This is Kevin Steen in WWE. That's what this is. This isn't Kevin Owens. This is Kevin Steen.
Absolutely. So, Ross, let's get into it. What do you think you're going to see? Give us your thoughts and give us a winner. Oh,
We're going to see Sammy. We're going to see Sammy. Sammy will be involved in this, but Cody's still going to retain by the skin of his teeth. Holding his ribs, trying to one-arm it, all the dramatic BS, just 10 minutes to climb with one arm by the skin of his teeth. I think Sammy's going to be very conflicted. He's going to come in looking like good intentions. Accidental haluva kick. They always seem to look like an accident. Turns out he's just really good at making them look like an accident. I think that's what it's going to be. Kevin's going to get so excited and he's going to just kind of like, I can't believe I did it, but go kind of thing. Like go. Tell him to go up the damn ladder. But I don't know how Cody's going to do it. But I just don't see Cody dropping the title. I just don't see it. I do see something like the picture I just painted, something along that outline. But somehow Cody manages to squeak out of this with the titles in his hands at the top of the ladder. I think it's going to look like a really strong showing from Kevin. I feel like Kevin's going to help Sammy get a couple of eliminations from outside the ring in the Rumble. That's one thing we haven't gotten to yet, but might as well. There's a reason that Sammy's going to come out because he's going to feel like he needs to because Kevin was helping him try to get to the end because Kevin really wants him to help him, right? So I'll help you. You get my back, I'll get you. So it's going to be some of that, you know. Actually, no, because the men's Rumble would have to go on before. So what I'm saying wouldn't make as much sense. My apologies. Right. I'm treating the title match like it's the main event because that's not the case.
Right.
So X that. I'm treating it like the main event is usually the main event, even though the main event is not the main event this time.
Right.
But I do think we see Sammy nonetheless. I can't paint you the picture on how Cody pulls it out. I can't in my head see how it works with the Sammy interference, but he does.
Well, I think Sammy gets involved, but I also think we see the return of Randy Orton.
That makes sense too. because that could be how Cody pulls it by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah, I follow this kind of underground wrestling page on X, and Randy Orton is in Indianapolis. He is in Indianapolis.
See, that's not one of the ones I heard is in Indianapolis. I heard about all the couple people from NXT I mentioned and stuff like that that are in town.
Yeah,
and then
Randy is allegedly in Indianapolis.
Right now is Chicago's a 3-hour drive, a 52-minute flight, and everything. So like, because Punk was saying, "Oh, she's at home watching Larry," and they're like, "Well, it's a 3-hour drive to Chicago."
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal.
2-minute flight, like so.
I think Randy
Saturday.
I think with Randy being dumped on his head by Kevin a couple of months back, it just makes sense to get Randy back involved right now. Especially with you got to think here. So Cody's on this, he's humming through this title reign right now at the portion of where he is with it.
His character works so good.
Yeah, he's starting to kind of look very bothered. He looks very unsure. He's looking very heavy, wearing the championship, and he's realizing that all of these people that were his friends they're not his friends, but there's only one guy left that hasn't showed his hand, and that is Randy. But Randy has business with Kevin because he dumped him on his head.
But Randy has been teasing us the whole time because every time they make sure to emphasize him looking at the title when they're backstage. When Cody's back's turned, he stares at that title. So that story's still going to get told.
That story's coming, but it's not.
That's one of the biggest reasons that Cody's not dropping this belt. The Randy story has to happen. It's going to be the story of Cody's title run.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I think I agree with you. I think just skip forward a little bit. Cody wins. He retains. Skin of his teeth.
I don't know how.
I think you see Sammy.
Randy comes back, but
I think Randy interfered. I think he drops Kevin off the ladders. I think he helps Cody. I think Cody grabs the titles. And I think it's the traditional Randy holding up Cody's arm. Cody's got the straps on, and Randy's looking at the straps. Like, I think you're going to continue to see that a lot. While Randy's energy is now towards his future WrestleMania opponent, that's going to be Kevin Owens. Owens and Randy Orton are going to start working on their program for Mania.
Last man standing or something.
Oh, it's going to be something brutal. It's going to be something brutal.
So it's going to be a no DQ of some kind with weapons out in the crowd.
So you finish up Cody versus Kevin. You open up Kevin versus Randy. And then, of course, you have this looming Sami Zayn situation. What does it become? And I'm going to tell you what it becomes. I think Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes end up going at it at Elimination Chamber.
I was about to say Elimination Chamber.
I think you have to have a spot, and Sammy's really good here. You give Sammy these next 30 to 40 days to have some type of altercation and conversation with Cody. You book the match, and then whatever this character is becoming of Sami Zayn is going to be unfolded when he gets a shot at Cody Rhodes. So I think you're going to get a lot of ingredients here in this match. I think it's going to be brutal. I think it's going to be, oh God. I think it's going to be, oh my Lord. I think it's going to be all of that with this match. You see Zayn, you see Orton, Cody retains, and the continuous storyline of this Kevin Owens world tour, so to speak, it continues. It's going to continue. And we all know Kevin Owens on the microphone and a Randy Orton on the microphone. Oh God, it's going to get wicked.
We got a lot of all-time greats on the stick right now on this roster. We really do. Punk's back. The Rock looks like shit compared to the rest of them at this point.
I don't know if this is the real Joe Hendry.
Of course not. But say his name and he appears. We haven't gotten to that yet, Joe. Of course I'm going to bring that up. We haven't gotten there yet, sir.
But yeah, so me and Ross both have Cody Rhodes retaining by the skin of his teeth.
How hilarious would it be if that was actually Joe Hendry's?
I was about to say to you, we don't know if
if I was a moderator, I could click go to page, but since I'm not, I can't. You can. On YouTube side, you can click the 3 dots and click go to page.
And see if it's him.
It's probably a burner, but it'd be hilarious if it's not, because it's a possibility. He's hardcore on the internet.
He is hardcore on the internet. Joe Hendry
And he could see a Royal Rumble preview show. That's probably
maybe he's sitting in his hotel room somewhere.
It's a burner. You know who else is in Indianapolis
doing
fan stuff right now?
Who's
the
that?
Super Megaweight.
I saw him. I saw the photos. He is back stateside. Back stateside. All right. So speaking of that, let's go ahead and get to it. The 2025 Men's Royal.
Oh, before we get into that, one more thing I want to bring up before he said his own name and he appeared. Isn't it nice for Cody that his entire title run they booked him to wrestle his friends?
Yes.
He's just worked his friends.
Yes.
Did some bloodline stuff, but everybody else he's worked his friends.
Yes, his friends.
That's been his matches, his friends.
Yes, his friends. All of them.
Yeah,
all of them. Sure.
And he's saving the one he wants the most for last, Randy.
That's important to him.
The most to him, he's going to do last. Yeah,
that's important to him for sure.
It's crazy.
So the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble. Sorry for the picture. I don't know why it cut off like that, but we're just going to take that off and just get to it. That's the official poster of the Royal Rumble. Let's get to the Men's Rumble. It's a lot going on here. So again, as we did for the ladies, we're going to give winners here. We're going to give potential special surprises that are returning back here. Final four. And ultimately, the winner of the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble, who will go on to WrestleMania and pick the champion of his choosing. Ross, let's kick it off, my man. Just dive in there.
So I saw earlier, I forgot who mentioned it, about Penta and Ray starting. I would love that.
Oh, I would love it.
I would love that.
That would
be amazing.
I would love it. It'd be so great.
Because I watched Penta's interview with Busted Open today, and he was talking about that night after his debut, him and Ray, they went celebrate. They were at his room, and then they went to dinner and all that because that's like his boy, however he said it in Spanish.
That'd be awesome.
So that would be great. The chemistry's there. They did a lot in Lucha Underground. Did you ever see their Lucha Underground matches?
Yeah, I saw the YouTube videos.
Oh, buddy. Just like
stuff.
Chelsea Green versus him and Io versus him. Those matches are crazy. Right?
Beautiful stuff.
Excuse me, Reclusa, and I forgot Io's name, but
about to say,
Chelsea
they had
Green,
different names.
God, she's so good. If they would let her do that stuff, Chelsea's
amazing.
Any of you that have never seen Reclusa versus Pentagon, go watch that on YouTube. That's the greatest match of Chelsea Green's career right there.
YouTube it for sure.
She took a beating. Oh my God. But aside from that, we might as well go into it. I do expect the biggest crowd pop and participation of the night for the Men's Rumble is when do say his name and he appears. Yep. The whole crowd's going to finish the line and do the double clap. I do expect the TNA World Champion to be in there long before the title was coming. It's been expected since he started showing up in TNA that he's going to be in the Rumble next year.
Yeah.
So now that he's got the title, that pretty much guaranteed his Rumble entry with their new 3-year deal with WWE. I do expect to see him. I do expect to see Jeff Hardy.
Ooh.
I expect to see Jeff Hardy. And the crowd's going to go nuts.
They're going to go ape.
I think that's another TNA representative. I don't think we get too many TNA guys because we got so many in the men's WWE roster that need to be on there.
Man.
But I think that's the two we get from TNA. We get Joe Hendry and we get Jeff Hardy. Because Jeff Hardy is what makes the most sense for the WWE audience. He's basically begged for it online and in interviews. And I have a feeling Hunter is obliging.
Of course, I think how can you not?
I don't think we get Matt too, but I think we get Jeff because Jeff's the bigger deal. Jeff makes more sense. If you're gonna do one, you got to do Jeff, right? So that's my two big surprises. I still don't completely think we're out the woodworks for the Beast showing up.
Mm-hmm.
I still think that's 50-50.
Mm-hmm. That was mine.
That's a big one. That's a big one.
Mine.
I think that's a higher probability than AJ Lee, honestly.
That is mine for the Beast to show up, yes. And we talked about this back on, I think it was maybe right after the SummerSlam pay-per-view or the PLE. And I just can't get out of my mind Breaker and Lesnar. I just can't get it out of my mind, like something that could happen. And what stage could it be if Braun Breaker's in there just wrecking it and he's standing in the ring, and Lesnar music hits. God.
So the other spot I actually do think we're gonna get too is the anything you can do, I can do better back and forth between Goldberg and Braun Breaker.
Oh, I forgot it. Oh God.
Because he's got to get a little bit under his belt before he goes after Gunther after Mania, right?
I forgot about that.
Goldberg, this is the year. This is the retirement year, and they've already agreed to it. He's under contract. So I think Goldberg shows up. I think him and Braun Breaker, the kings of the spears, are going to have the back and forth spearing dudes. Oh, yeah. And it's going to be that spot. Goldberg's not going to last long because Goldberg, even in his prime, was never a long time, you know? So I think we get that appearance. That's a surprise that maybe not everybody's super excited.
But it'll be a surprise for sure.
Will be maybe not so much because I once that happened with Gunther and everything, I was okay. He's going to be in the Rumble, and Braun Breaker spot makes sense for them to go back and forth. But Brock and Braun, because they're building Braun to be Brock.
Yes,
that makes sense. That makes more sense for a longer spot. I don't think we get Brock and Goldberg in the ring at the same time because Goldberg's going to be shorter. And Brock's going to be in later. If Brock shows up, he's in 20 to 30.
I just think that since all of this Vince McMahon stuff is, kind of packaging up and certain people's names are being cleared.
On the roster page.
I know. I just think we haven't seen him. And the last time we saw Brock, it was the best version of Brock Lesnar we ever saw.
They keep saying Slade the Beast. I did this. Drew said it last Monday.
You said it last week.
To Paul Heyman. I'm the one that started this when I slayed the Beast and then took Roman's spot. And
so I'm gonna go.
They do it all the time. Seth mentioned him a couple weeks before.
I'm gonna go Brock. And then I'm gonna go.
I think we're like 70% Brock Lesnar.
I think we get Brock. And then what's his real name? Dolph Ziggler. What's his real name?
Oh, Nick Nemeth. So he said he has nothing to prove. He's not interested. Could be a swerve. Could be working us.
I think it's a work.
I think so too.
I think it's a work.
It would make sense for him to show up, but I think that caps us. I think 3 would be the max for TNA.
Yeah,
because there's
those are 3 good ones though. Those are 3 good ones.
Because we still got to have Trick Williams. We still got to have Obafemi.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Do you think Obafemi comes in? You think so?
They're going to start introducing him more because they've already had him in the crowd at SmackDown. They got to introduce him to the main roster audience more because they're getting him ready for the main roster.
Okay.
I think Obafemi and Trick Williams both.
Okay.
And there's a possibility we get Ethan Page.
Really?
I think so because they've really put some stock into Ethan Page.
He has, but I think that's a stretch for him right now.
I think so. I think he's got a shot though.
I feel you.
I think the 2 definites are Trick Williams and Obafemi though. Tony D'Angelo, because they like him so much, I think he's got just as much of a chance as Ethan. I don't think it's both. I think it's one of them maybe. And I think we're capped at 3 on them. Capped at 3 on TNA, capped at 3 on NXT. And that leaves you with 24 for SmackDown and Raw, So you got your NXT coverage, you got your big hits from TNA coming in.
Yeah.
And you have room for legends.
Right.
Your Goldberg, your Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Now, any other men's legends, I'm not too sure. Nobody really jumps out at me because there's just so much on the roster because you're going to get Chad Gable. You're going to get the usual suspects, the Stars, the John Cenas, the Roman Reigns.
Yeah, you're not going to get no gimmick entrance this year.
AJ would be great. I see CI Saint bringing up AJ. That would be great.
He'll be back. AJ. Do we see The Rock? I don't think so. I don't think so. I will say this. If we do see him, it'll be the biggest shock of the night.
I think the air is going to come out of the room for everyone watching it. Not everyone in the arena. The arena is going to pop, but everyone watching it on a screen is going to go, fuck.
You think that?
Because he ruins everything. That's what he does. His gimmick is ruin everything now. Final boss, ruin everything.
I think if we see him, I don't think I think this time for real, I don't think no one's expecting it.
No, because he's killed the 2 storylines he was in. Literally came out and shit on a year's worth of build.
He
just
did.
Because he felt like it.
But what if it was a work?
I hope it was a work. That would make me have more respect for him if it was a work because of what he did with the Cody carried on the back. Tell Mama Rhodes I said hello. Let's take a shot at Tamara.
I know. I know, but before see, I think this time, it would be what?
I would be mad. Normally, I'm all for it, dude. I wear every morning of my life. I do cardio with his logo on my headphones. I love Dwayne Johnson, but boy, has he been pissing me off since he came back last year. Final Boss character was great, but he shit on it a month ago.
He did. All timer.
See how I'm getting worked up? I'm not red because of that. I'm tanning bed today, so that's why I'm.
When we're going to see y'all. Stay tuned. We could be those special appearances in the Rumble.
You never know. Look, last year when I was there, I made a post that I was coming in number 12. I don't know if you remember that post on my IG.
I do. The FWO.
I was doing dumbbells. I was doing some dumbbell curls.
We could be on the flight. We could be on the flight after this live stream.
Hey man, we jumping on the private jet with Pat McAfee. It's coming to scoop us up.
We could be headed there. So keep watching. The FWO could be making an appearance.
My hoodie's ready to go. It's right there.
Yeah, we're ready.
Grab and go. Be out the door. Hey man, everybody wrestles in sneakers now. We throwing some Jordan ones.
We're good.
For wrestling now.
We're good to go, baby. And making that special
Jordan ones in our collection.
Yep.
Lace them up and let's go.
I'm gonna lace up them shadows and we coming through, baby.
Look, we're gonna run down the ramp and pull a Titus O'Neil right under the ring.
Who are these losers?
Oh God, Dilly. Oh, I'm so glad you brought up Duval. How you like your new head coach there, D?
I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it.
That's the corniest motherfucker I've ever seen in my life.
It is super corny, but I need a nerd for my head coach.
Oh my God. I felt bad for you immediately.
It was embarrassing, but I need a nerd. I need a nerd for a head coach.
Oh, you got it. I saw another post when he was walking through the offices with all the corny shit he was saying, and they said there's actually a guy with negative aura in the NFL. That was great.
I'm excited
for bringing that up. Thank you for bringing that up, Dilly. I've been meaning to mess. I've been forgetting to pick on him about it.
Duval.
Oh my God, it's so bad.
Oh, Chris, thank you, man. Thank you for subscribing, man. Just subscribe to my phone. Thank you.
It.
Thank you very much.
Any of you that are here for the first time and you normally watch us talk fragrance, you see the difference in passion. Yes, we love fragrance, but boy, do we love wrestling.
Well, boy, do we love wrestling for sure.
This is really what bonded us.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
So
we hardly talk fragrance. This is what we talk about on the phone.
For sure. So we've talked about surprises. Let's get to it, man. The final four. After all of the different things that take place, where are you at?
So I think Iron Man performance is Final Four Jey Uso.
Ooh.
And he gets thrown out. He doesn't make the final three, but he's going to be in the first 2 or 3. He started the Rumble last year. I don't think him and Jimmy are starting again because they had that turned out to be a bad feud.
Oof,
I was so excited for that match, and it was so bad.
It was.
I was very disappointed. I thought they were going to. I thought it had match of the night potential. It was the worst.
We thought they were going to tear the house down.
Worst match at Mania in years. It was awful.
Probably worst match at Mania in the last decade.
Yeah, for sure. It was. I felt so bad for both of them because they wanted it so bad. You know.
I did too.
But I think Final Four Jey Uso, new nickname.
Uso.
CM Punk.
Yep.
Roman Reigns.
Yep.
John Cena. That's my final four.
Okay. It's great. It's a great 4.
I think the odd duck is because Jey Uso's just so over. They just always got to make him look strong, but not quite strong enough. You know?
Did you see that they kind of back up, but did you see his entrance on Saturday Night Live? I mean, Saturday night's main event.
Oh, yeah, God, yeah, of course. He was exhausted when he got to the table. Yeah.
Crazy.
Hello, y'all. Yeet. It
was crazy. Yeah. I said, yo, this dude.
He's gassed.
I
love Jey, man.
I love Jey. Over. It's crazy.
Dude, the moment they made the main event Jey Uso shirt when they put him as a single, I pre-ordered it. The night they put it out, I pre-ordered. I was so happy for Jey.
I just wanted to highlight that entrance on Saturday's night main event. But for me, my final four: Roman Reigns.
Yep.
CM Punk.
Gotta be.
Drew McIntyre.
That's the big one I omitted. You're torn because neither of us are Seth.
I'm leaning towards Seth. because here's why I'm leaning towards Seth. There's a lot of unfinished business and potential storylines with Seth Rollins in 2025. When are the seeds going to be planted for this different version of Seth? Because we're getting a different version of Seth at some point in 2025.
I'm ready for him to drop the clown clothes.
What's coming?
He did it long enough.
If you watch, he's been wearing a lot more black.
Black suits, yeah.
Well, guess who else been wearing a lot of black and who always wears black? Drew wears black. Drew's wearing black. So I'm torn between Seth and Jay. But I'm going to go Roman. I'm going to go Punk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go Drew. And I'm going to go Seth. I don't think Cena makes it.
No, almost Cena. I think all year is almost Cena.
I think Cena.
Eliminate Rumble, almost.
Well, here's what's going to piss me off.
Almost. Money in the Bank, almost.
Well, you know who's going to eliminate Cena? Probably.
Punk?
No. Logan Paul.
Oh, God, to set up that match?
I think Cena's going to have a gimmick match at Mania. I think he is.
They're going to try to get John to teach him different parts of the... Okay.
I think John's going to
look for Logan Paul's development. It makes sense to put him with John. It does, as long as he doesn't.
John been doing over the past couple years.
As long as he don't Austin Theory his ass, because he did nothing to help Austin Theory.
Well, Theory killed his own. Theory killed his own.
That was bad.
And that was a pretty decent match. But anyway,
it was.
I think the storyline here with John is he's going to be putting a lot of guys over. He's made it clear. And I don't think the tease of him being in the Final Four is right for John. I think you go ahead and plant that seed.
Well, because if you have Punk throw him out, that's just another notch on Punk's big rocket ship that they put on him lately.
But does Punk need it?
Punk doesn't need anything but a main event at Mania, really. That's the only thing he hasn't ever gotten. Well, he didn't win the
That's
Rumble,
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
You know,
I think the only notch on Punk's belt for as far as elimination goes is eliminating Roman Reigns.
Oh, I'm with CI saying Jacob Fatu's gonna have the most eliminations.
Yeah, Iron Man Jake. Yeah,
that's 10 or 11 eliminations.
Yeah, and I think he's going to get that
Final Four. The reason we went a different route is I feel like you have to have a wild card because your 4 is the easy prediction.
Correct.
You see his Final Four: Punk, Drew, Roman, Cena. That's the easy prediction.
Yeah.
That's why we're trying to pick a wild card here, because I think the obvious locked in is Punk, Roman, Cena to me, and to him it's Punk, Roman, Drew.
Right.
So it's 3 of the 4 of your 4 for both of us.
Right, for both of us.
And we have a wild card, each of us.
I think
Jey Uso, his is Seth.
I think Fatu goes on a wreckage in the Rumble.
He's going to come in the first half.
Well, he's going to come in and clear the ring. I think he's going to get that moment where he
might be like number 3 or 4 or some shit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think he clears the ring, and I think he's literally standing in the ring saying, "Who's next? Who's next? Come on, who's the next one?" I think he has.
Guys, I say this with the utmost respect for those of you saying Cena's winning the Rumble. Nah. I'm going to treat it as you guys are not trolling and you're serious and think Cena's going to win. So I'm treating it that way with my response.
Nah.
Put the weed down.
Nah.
That's not what we're doing. They're not booking Cena.
Nah, he's
not. The main event of Mania. They're not. No. They're not going to do it. I think the best case scenario was what I was saying with almost Cena. But the probability is more what Dedrick's saying with him putting a lot of people over on his way out, instilling his knowledge in people he thinks he can help. Like Logan Paul.
And Logan Paul. And I also think that for Cena, you really stack his chance at Elimination Chamber. You really stack his chance because now that's when the almost Cena comes into play.
There's going to be some almost Cena this year.
No doubt about it.
100% it's going to happen.
And Cena will get a title shot. I think he will face a champion at some point in time before this is all said and done. Hell, I want to see Cody versus John. I want to see it.
I don't honestly at this stage, I don't think John could hang with Cody in the ring. Not anymore. Not the way he wrestles now. I think Cody would have to work to John's style. John couldn't work to Cody's style. I don't think he could, because Cody's been able to merge the WWE style and the independent style. He's like the leader of that shit in this generation.
Sure. Sure.
I really do. I think Cody is far better in the ring, psychology and moveset. And
No, he is. He is.
You know,
but I think as fans, before John walks away, a John Cody program will be nice. But we have plenty of time to talk.
I'd love to see. I think we can totally get it. Maybe SummerSlam or something like that.
Right.
You know, but I don't think it's going to be. I don't think they're going to use the Mania main event slot on John Cena. I just don't. He'll be at Mania. He's gonna be on the card. Of course. But he's not closing either night.
No. So we have our final four predictions. Ross, who wins the Royal Rumble this year?
It's got to be Punk. I can't imagine they don't give him what he's missed. The reason he left in the first place, the reason he was so pissed off was they refuse. He's tired of working sick. He's tired of this. He's tired of that. He's disgruntled. Why am I working Triple H? Why can't I get a main event? I'm the most over person in the company. I think we're at that stage that it's going to look like. I think the only thing that stops him from winning this Rumble is him having an injury or a botch that causes him to fall over the top or not be able to hold on to the spot where he's supposed to look like he's going to lose, but he doesn't. If maybe something happens and he slips or something like that, I think that's the only thing that's going to stop him from pointing at the sign. I really, really believe he gets to point at the sign because that's what most fans want. That'll be the biggest celebration of the fans in the arena if he's the winner pointing in the crowd. He's the most over person in wrestling. There's nothing he can do wrong with the audience. He could be a dirty, nasty heel telling them to go fuck themselves. And they're CM Punk. Yes, we gonna fuck ourselves. CM Punk. It's to that point. I think they're going to – I just don't see it going away from it. Now, the problem with that is, do I really believe he takes the title off of Cody at Mania, though? Because they give him what he wants to get to Mania, does that mean they let him be the one to take the title off of Cody? Because does Randy Orton's story need the title?
No.
Because Randy Orton's thirsty for the title, though. That's what's making him have lust in his eyes that could potentially turn him on Cody. So I'm very torn with saying Punk wins at the same time because I look beyond the Rumble. So if he goes there, do I really believe he's taking the title? But I just can't seem to make myself pick someone else to win this Rumble. I just don't think it's going to be Roman and Cody again.
Well, there are storylines that still have to be developed. And one of the storylines was from War Games. It was very, very clear that CM Punk was doing Paul Heyman and the OG bloodline a favor.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very publicized, it was very documented, and it was shoved down our throats to remember this favor.
The Jackie Redmond interview this week, she asked again. It's not.
I think
Pat asked today on his show.
Right. I think that Roman Reigns wins the Royal Rumble.
I could see it.
I think as Roman is celebrating in the ring,
Cody. That's my only issue.
I think that when Roman is celebrating in the ring and Paul Heyman is standing at wherever he is doing his thing, when that logo pops in the bottom to go off air, you see CM Punk whisper something into Paul Heyman's ear, and Paul Heyman looks absolutely terrified.
Yeah, like the big eyes. Because he's the king of selling something with his face, right?
And then it goes to black. There's a lot of drama left to unfold here. Because the potential Punk and Roman program will happen in 2025. It's just a matter of when. Yeah. But what
it might have to be an Elimination Chamber for his Mania spot.
What's the favor?
That could be the favor.
The favor could be the opening gimmick on Monday Night Raw, CM Punk calling Roman Reigns to the ring, calling Paul Heyman to the ring. You owe me. I didn't have to do this for you. You owe me. Now Punk is being possessed. Now the page turns on oh my God, CM Punk's so happy to be on Monday Night Raw because that's what he's been doing.
Isn't it a great night to be in insert name of city for cheap
He's
pop?
been so bubbly. He's been so charismatic. He's been so just bright and shiny. That's not how we love our CM Punk.
No.
So now it's time to get down to business. And the only way you get CM Punk to get in his bag is he has to be lusting after something. He has to say that I am right. He has to say that you owe me and I want it now. And Roman looks at Paul and he looks at Punk and he says, screw you, bro. I'm going after the title. That's my prediction. Because I just can't shake the fact out that they beat this favor in our heads. They beat it in our heads. And I just don't see Triple H saying, hey, we're going to go ahead and just kind of push
it's
to
just
the back.
so hard. I mean, you're making complete logical sense here. It's just so hard for me to see them not letting Punk point at that sign.
He has plenty of time to point at it. He just won't point at it at Royal Rumble. He has time to point at it.
And it's very plausible.
He has time to point at it. Because we all know once that WrestleMania sign is in the arena tomorrow night, it ain't going nowhere. It ain't going nowhere. So we need drama. We need theater. We need something to build on after the Royal Rumble. And I think that's a really great place for WWE to start, continuing to tell this story. So I got Roman Reigns winning the Rumble, and I think it's about to hit the fan really, really, really quickly after that. That's what I think. That's what I think.
What are you talking about? Big Jim's gonna win.
Big who?
Big Jim. Jimmy Uso for the win. Pointing at the sign.
Oh, I would love to see it. I wouldn't mind. And then how much did you think that Jimmy, not Jimmy, Jay was going to beat Gunther? That's what I want to ask you. Did it feel
0%.
like Gunther?
0%.
Well, no. Watching the match.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to win.
Not at all. When he went for that splash, I thought it was over.
No, I just don't see them taking the belt off of Gunther. Yeah, that's one thing they don't do is take belts off of him.
Yeah, I know.
NXT UK title, Intercontinental title. It ain't time for this one.
I know.
I gotta say, it's been a very lackluster run.
It's been horrible. Let's call it what it is.
It's been the worst title run of his career.
It's been terrible.
The Intercontinental title run was way better.
This is unfortunate. Mm-hmm. And this is what happened.
They found a way to make that title look like a secondary title quick. It mattered when Seth had it, but that was it. Because they were letting Seth make it matter.
The Intercontinental Championships in the same boat. The World Championships in the same boat.
Look at the Women's Intercontinental title. It's been on TV in an interview segment once since it was won.
Haven't seen it. Hell, I haven't even seen the champion.
That's what I'm saying. They did an interview with her leading up to Rumble like 2 weeks ago. That's it.
Well, that's something they got to get better at. So hopefully they do in 2025. But ladies and gentlemen, the 2025 Royal Rumble is here. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in Indianapolis at Lucas Oil Field. Y'all, we are in for a treat. We are in for a treat, man. So I am looking forward to this 3 to 4 hour event.
I'm gonna be locked in.
I
was gonna do my member stream tomorrow, and then it dawned on me when we were setting this up. I was like, I ain't setting my member stream up for the damn Rumble. We're gonna do that Sunday morning.
No, we are going to be locked in.
I'm watching the Rumble. So
as tradition for me, I will order the fattest pizza possible.
Oh, see, why you gotta say all that shit?
I know. I'm
about to go eat some lean beef and 2 whole eggs after this thing.
As tradition, that's what I do for the Rumble.
195 flat today. 195.0. I lost 14 pounds in the month of January.
All right, my guy. We're heading to that goal. But I ain't cutting. And we got a pizza. We got a pizza. And we got a Coke Zero on chill, ready to roll for tomorrow night. So looking forward to it, Ross. You know, what is it? Y'all see Jay and Jada?
That rumor's been running. That's a married man.
Jay Uso?
Yeah, they've been having them rumors running that them two are having a thing going on.
Oh, I never saw that.
A month now, that month or so that rumor's been running.
Well, you know how it is. If you're in a picture with somebody, you're screwing them. So I don't know, but anyway, to each his own.
Well, I hope he's not unfaithful. If he was single, yeah, I get it, dude. I get it. Too bad, but don't be stepping out on the wife like that.
No, of course not. Of course not. Of course not.
Definitely not. If he was single, more power to you, my brother.
Whatever, buddy. Do your thing. Do your thing. But we're here for the Rumble. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a good time. Ross, any final remarks before we shut it down, man?
Christopher, we talked about at the beginning. The edging of WWE and CM Punk making us believe we're getting AJ Lee is exactly why we're not going to. Trust me, I want that to happen. I think that nothing will be a bigger pop that night than AJ Lee. If we were to get AJ Lee, those high top chucks skipping out the curtain, yeah. But I just don't see it because they've teased us to death that even CM Punk got involved in it.
Agreed.
I just think they're edging us to give us blue balls.
Agreed, man. I mean, it's just going to be, again, like Ross said, if she shows up, the roof is going to come off.
Jumping off the rafters.
The roof's going to come off of it.
That'll be the biggest surprise in the history of the Women's Rumble. And it's something people are hoping for. So it's not really that big of a surprise. It's just the expectations low that it actually happens.
And to actually see it.
Yeah.
That's the thing, too. So we'll see what happens, man.
I think the women in the ring would pop just as hard as, like, they won't even be able to hide it because they all grew it, like Roxanne and they all grew up loving her. They all love AJ Lee. So
they all grew up loving her. And it'll be a really cool moment if we get that. But we're going to have a lot of questions answered tomorrow night at the Rumble. And as we kick off the road to WrestleMania, here we go, y'all. Strap in, buckle up, enjoy, and just looking forward to the next time we get together and, get to talk to you guys about what's going on in the world of wrestling. But Ross is pumped. I'm pumped. You guys are pumped. Hopefully we have an all-time Royal Rumble show. Last year's was incredible. And this year has to be,
Give me all the drama.
Yeah, this year has to be that much more. So we'll see. But y'all, we appreciate y'all, man, for coming through. If you were here watching us live tonight, thank y'all so much, man. We appreciate the love, hitting that thumbs up, rocking with us, giving us questions, giving your inputs and your thoughts. Don't take that for granted. Thank you guys very much. If you're watching on the playback, hit that thumbs up. And if you made it all the way to the end on the playback, you're a real one. And we appreciate that for showing love, man, and hearing what we have to say when we're talking about that good old wrestling. All right. So for myself, Dedrick L Jr., my brother, Ross TLTG Reviews, y'all have an absolute great evening and enjoy the Rumble. And we will see you guys real soon. All right. Peace, y'all.